Good afternoon, Metaverse Explorers, and welcome to Metaverse Masterminds, your weekly window into the Dalversal social fine Metaverse. I'm General Kev Barefoot, and today we're diving deep into the heart of innovation, community, and limitless possibilities. Today's show is a special edition broadcast, a show that many members have been waiting for. A show that marks another significant step forward in the evolution of the metaverse. So who have we got on our panel today? The scintillating Buddykins, who moderates the multiple live chat feeds into the studio. The ever-delightful Winnie, who is never short of an encouraging perspective when debating the metaverse and its multiple facets. We also have Sergeant Meng, who marches alongside me whenever leadership decisions require deep analysis and positive progress. We also extend our heartfelt thanks to the Hmong community for their valiant effort during the Landathon contest. This demonstrates that with the right direction and leadership, great things are bound to happen. Meng's dedication and hard work is truly commendable. We also have Coach Leon, a man of wisdom that intrigues our members on every show, and Jason, a former pediatric oncology worker, survivor, artist, gamer, and filmmaker, with an aim to inspire and tell people's stories. And ladies and gentlemen, we have two of the finest examples of leadership that the metaverse has ever encountered. Mr. Jonah Glasgow, CEO of Dalversal, and King Ben Maseko, representative for the African region. We shall have the pleasure of their presence live within our studio via video link-up later in the show. So without further ado, let's get on with today's show. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed members of the Metaverse Masterminds community, today, we have the distinct pleasure of announcing a significant milestone within the Bureau of Forefront. It's with great pleasure that we officially promote Deborah Delamini, a dedicated and passionate member of our team, from the rank of private to the esteemed rank of sergeant. Deborah has consistently exhibited unwavering commitment, dedication, and expertise in our exploration of the Dalversal metaverse. Her tireless efforts in dissecting the most complex of metaverse developments have not only enriched our broadcasts, but have also deepened our understanding of this ever-evolving digital realm. As we strive to provide you, our global audience, with the most comprehensive and insightful content, Deborah's promotion to sergeant signifies her continued growth as a thought leader and her exceptional contributions to our communities. We're excited to witness her take on ever greater responsibilities and guide us further into the exciting future of the metaverse. Deborah, your dedication is an inspiration to us all, and we look forward to the incredible insights and experiences you will continue to bring to our community. Thank you for being a vital part of the Bureau of Forefront team, and here's to many more accomplishments in the metaverse realm. May I offer you this opportunity to address our viewers from within your new role as Sergeant Deborah. Go ahead, Deborah.
Certainly. Warm welcome and good afternoon to everyone on all the different countries, of course. And I would like to welcome the panel on stage, the CEO, Jonah, our leader from the African soil, which is King Ben Maseko, the Bureau of Forefront officials, and then the valuable community, of course, then the other respective leaders in this panel today. And it is the greatest honor to be here today, sharing my briefing, as in my experience throughout the project. Originally, I am from South Africa, also, same as King Ben Maseko. And I started the global project, the journey in 2021, January. And this is where I embraced the opportunity to explore the blockchain education within the crypto industry, which was very phenomenal. And then early 2022, that is where I also started exploring the Metaverse studies, where towards the end of the same year, 2022, around about November, I came to know about the artificial intelligence, which was going to be phased out as an introduction in many countries for the following year, which is 2023. And then 2023 February 2023 February, that is when I was officially appointed by the Bureau of Forefront, which is located in Singapore. And ever since, I've been working remotely from home as all the other officials in the Bureau. So we work in different countries, but we work remotely from our own home. All right. And then in 2023, March is basically when everybody started to notice that there was a crisis, and it was a severe one, but it all started in a very severe confusion, amongst everyone and, the project itself. And we had to channel on that. And from that same March, we kickstarted a journey with the Bureau team with Satoshi AI, whereabout from acquiring the Hyperlab in the Hypertech group. So there was a Hyperlab which was belonging to the Hypertech group. So Satoshi AI then acquired that lab, and then from March, that's where the Satoshi AI kick-started. And we had to channel along with this until July, when officially the ecosystem partnership merged in, and that was a huge ecosystem partnership signing ceremony, which was held in Hong Kong. That was also a very phenomenal, touching experience to actually witness, as in the journey, from the actual crisis, channeling through to something that was so deep and something that was of a higher extent in terms of, merging into the first phase of the revolution. So a lot had made sense already in my journey, because I was learning, as in it was deep learning, and it was deep exploration to the ecosystem itself, as in the blockchain also. And it perfectly fell in place when Darversal merged in, as in the entities that were on the ecosystem signing ceremony had chosen to develop and explore the Darversal ecosystem, which is now featuring the Metaverse and the Web3. So if I look at my experience, I was already looking for the Metaverse. Before the crisis in 2023, I was already looking for, a Metaverse project, which was going to be long-term in terms of what I have explored already in my studies. And then also in July 2023, that's when we did the marketing and promotion of Darversal. That was a greater experience as well. That's where I learned a lot. There was a lot of research done, and I absolutely enjoyed, the engagement that we had with the Bureau. And then towards the end of July, that's when the community got to know and realized that something was happening, and there was more information posted even on the previous project announcements. And that's where people realized that the assets were now moving to a new project, a new development. And that's where the entire community came on board in terms of, grasping the new journey, realizing that we have landed into something, phenomenal, but at first confusing also, because there was quite a gap. There was quite a gap of, knowledge into what was happening. But if I evaluate from July to the current phase where we are in September, in end of September, people have adapted to the changes, and they are coming into terms, with leaving the past behind, and also channeling into the opportunity that is already presented, within the Dow vessel ecosystem. And we are highly grateful for this opportunity. There's so much to learn for other members as well, and the opportunity just looks brighter. And I want to emphasize also to the community that, Dow vessel ecosystem is not just about, a recovery of the funds or the assets in the previous projects. It's a new life. It's a new life. It's a new opportunity. It's a birth of something very unique, very significant. And it's drawing us to a point where we are actually early birds in the revolutionary space. Also in advanced technology, we are early birds, and we should be, grateful for that opportunity. It's not many projects that will offer such unique expertise, into giving that valuable knowledge, because this is not just about the money. Knowledge as in fundamentals that are making people more broader in extent of education and understanding where we are going with this development. So it has been a phenomenal experience. And I would also like to thank CEO Jonah Glasgow. He was extremely busy in August. In August, he was there constantly, and I'm sure he had a very hectic schedule of those Zoom sessions. And, the rest of the corporate team, which was very, very also enlightening, what was unpacked in terms of knowledge, and also sharing the expertise, their background, their focus in the new development. That was also touching. So far, I've also had to explore, the expertise, engaging with the Africa community, because with my experience with the Bureau, I've also dealt at a larger extent with the global communities, which was featuring many other countries. But, from just 2 months ago, I had to fully explore, in terms of engaging with the African community and assisting them, into a scale that is more convenient in terms of guiding and assisting and, mentoring, and also motivating them into a lighter perspective of the new development. I'm sure that is all on my side.
That's absolutely fantastic, Deborah. Thank you so much for that inspiring speech. And here's to many fruitful years to come within the metaverse realm known as Dowversal. Okay, guys, I'm just going to take a very short intermission, and then we'll be back with you very soon.
Metaverse Masterminds, broadcasting live across 5 online platforms: Twitter, Telegram, Discord, Facebook, and YouTube. Join in the lively chat and get your messages posted direct into the studio. Live chat is available from the Bureau of Forefront Facebook page and the Metaverse Masterminds YouTube channel.
Okay, welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, viewers from every corner of the world, thank you for joining us on Metaverse Masterminds today. Our mission is to bring together the global community to explore the exciting realms of the Dowversal metaverse. And today we have a very special guest who is at the forefront of this digital revolution. A visionary leader at the helm of Dowversal, the very heart of the metaverse we explore week after week. Please join me in welcoming our special guest of today's show, Mr. Jonah Glasgow, the CEO of Dowversal. Good afternoon, Jonah. Are you there?
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure to be here speaking with you guys today from Dubai. And I look forward to diving in a little bit deeper and discussing all about Dalversal.
Absolutely. We're absolutely honored to have you here on the show today, Jonah. Your leadership and insights into the Dalversal Metaverse has reshaped the digital landscape. Could you please share with our global audience a bit of an insight into your background and how you got into this Web3 space?
Yeah, so I actually started diving a little bit deeper into blockchain technology during my studies at LWT. At that point, I had a lot of friends that were actually in the blockchain space and telling me to get involved. And of course, like I think everyone in the beginning, I was very skeptical. And throughout that time, they've mentioned a few currencies. I think one of them being, Litecoin was something that was on their radar. And they asked me to pay attention and watch because they thought that the price was going to go up. And of course, I just sat on the sidelines and participated in just watching the charts. And sure enough, it did have some momentum. And at that time, it was quite exciting, but I was also like very, very interested to learn more about blockchain technology. So throughout, several months, I just sat back on the sidelines and continued studying more about blockchain technology, some of the current trends, what are people's focus, what are the good projects, what are the bad projects, what do I personally like? And that's what kind of led me to participating into designing and developing some of that blockchain technology. Many months later, I actually became the CEO of LindaCoin. And that was an exciting journey because, we were able to actually make many milestones, which I thought I could improve within that project. One of them being the fact that masternodes had a very high barrier of entry. So people could not actually participate as a masternode. And I'll just give some examples. General staking or proof of stake chains, there is general validators, we like to call them. And then there is masternodes, which actually handle the majority of the transactions. So there was like kind of a separation between these two, whether you are just a general participant that is doing staking, or if you actually hold a significant amount of tokens and are a masternode. Now, I thought that this actually affected our adoption rate. So what we did was we reduced the cost or the barrier of entry to actually own a masternode. And this actually was one of the best things we could have done because we went from 30 masternodes all the way up to 2,500 in a very short time. And it kind of just allowed the transaction speed to increase significantly for the network. We went from probably like 2-second validation times for transactions all the way up to like maybe 1 second. It was very fast. And this was, showing the efficiency of actually having more masternodes participate in validating transactions. Further on down the road, we actually designed another solution, which was My Staking Wallet. My Staking Wallet allowed people to actually stake their masternode directly from their phone. And the unique thing about this was that during the time, iOS was not allowing people to actually mine anything from their phones because it takes too much CPU data or CPU usage or GPU usage and can really affect the efficiency of your phone. So we found a solution to allow people to actually use a VPS server that actually they can connect to, and then from there they can directly manage their nodes from their phone. And this finally did get approved by iOS, Apple, and which made us probably one of the first masternode staking applications released in the market, and we were extremely excited for that. So these are just some of the few milestones that we accomplished at LindaCoin. And yeah, that's what kind of got me into the industry. That was, I think, a very exciting journey, needless to say, especially when I really just sat on the sidelines in the beginning and was just studying blockchain technology. And instead of being a traditional investor, I thought, like I can actually make projects better. And I wanted to be a part of that because of my engineering background. So I felt that was probably skipping a few steps, but at the end, it really worked out for the best for me.
That's great, Jonah. Thank you for that. It's truly enlightening, and we're incredibly grateful for your presence here today. Before we move on, we'd like to extend an invitation. Would you be open to taking a few questions from our engaged and curious Metaverse Masterminds community members who have written into the show?
Yeah, of course.
That's great, thank you. Sergeant Meng, would you like to present the questions to Jonah, sir?
Yeah, good afternoon, Jonah. Our first question comes from Bitcoin Ola. And it says, "Hi, Jonah. We kindly request your support in promoting unity and collaboration among all Hyper community members. This can be achieved by ensuring you and your team are accessible to recognize Hyper community leaders. This way we can prevent over or under representation from concentrated efforts and assure the broadest inclusion of teams and groups within the community. Please help explain how Dalversal can achieve this."
That's a great question. Yeah, so in terms of leadership that we have, like our community leaders, we always try and provide support the best that we can. And of course, we are extremely busy because we are actually supporting a large community. But at that same time, we want to give validation to all of the leaders' efforts in providing education because without them, we would not be able to actually educate the majority of our community, and that we need their support. So in that sense, we try to give them all the tools necessary to be able to actually provide that education, and constantly jump on Zoom sessions whenever necessary to ensure that they're up to speed with some of the current development plans going on with Dalversal, and of course how we can work together to try and encourage their community or give their community the support that they might need as well. As leaders, they take on a lot of the feedback from the community, so we take it very, very seriously when we receive that feedback from the leaders on how we can improve it. So I think that's kind of the way that we like to validate each individual leader, not necessarily by giving them a poster and saying, hey, this is a leader, everyone follow them, but let them actually be recognized by the project on a more personal level by actually saying, hey, we understand what some of your concerns are, or we understand where you're having bottlenecks. Let's work together and try and overcome those. And in the end, that will actually lead to a very strong community. So that's been our primary focus, to ensure that we are, staying kind of neutral, because we want to ensure that we're not stepping on top of leaders' toes, but actually just trying to guide them in the right direction.
That's good to hear. And then let's jump on to the next question. This one is from Sarah, which everybody knows as Buddykins. Will there be smaller packs in the future to accommodate those members that have less than 5,000 in pending rewards?
Yeah, so that's been a very popular question. I think a lot of people have been having this question. And of course, that's what we want to implement later on in the future. I don't have an exact date as of right now, but the reason why it's not as of this moment, because we know then there would be a lot of people joining, which there already is now, but there would be like almost every single person. The reason why we haven't done that is so we can actually just assess currently if there is any issues with the current TFA, and if we do need to reevaluate that. And when we are confident that this is working and can ensure that people are actually getting the positive result from it, then we will introduce those other packages in the future. We want to make it accessible for everyone. That was one of my biggest goals, because originally it was just for Satoshi AI delegates. We've taken a step further and we've opened it up to everyone, but sadly we haven't covered all different facets of people's pendings, and that really just depends on previous involvement. But needless to say, we want to provide those solutions. I would like to see something as low as 500 and then maybe even 1,000 be added or introduced. That way, of course, people can then actually use the TFA package, no matter what their actual pendings might be.
That's awesome. That's good. I'm glad everybody that is on this live right now is happy with that. Let's jump to the next question. This is from our very own General Kev Barefoot. Looking back at the journey of building this metaverse, what are the most profound lessons you've learned along the way?
I would say that to kind of the most profound lessons is that you can't have you can't be in control of everything, if that really makes sense. As a CEO, you want to try and make sure that everything is exactly, as it should be, and very precise. But the reality is that that's why you have team, members. That's why you have teammates. That's why you have leaders, because there is going to be always a better way to do things, or there is going to be other opinions on how things should be done. And receiving that criticism or receiving that input on how things should be done and executed more efficiently is ultimately the best thing you could have within a team. That really shows the strength of not only the direction of your product, but also the teamwork and the strength of the core team. And for me, being able to actually go from a more strict strategy of actually just like keeping everything to the T. I'm more open now, obviously, to suggestions and improvements on the actual platform. And I've become more comfortable with allowing those changes to happen, because you're not going to have all the best ideas. Like I've said before, you have to rely on your team to be able to come up with those things. And I'm so grateful that my team's members have actually been able to participate the way they have and improve the product that we initially designed. Because initially we had actually a strategy that was a little bit different in terms of how you actually were mining or staking on the platform. But the solution now, I think, is going back actually to our first. We had different versions, so this is going back to the first version, and this was a suggestion that was made by, people like Kay, some other developers as well on our team, Neo. They all thought that this was the best direction, as well as I did in the beginning. But I'm just happy that we went back in that direction and it worked out for the better.
That's fantastic, Jonah. Your words are really inspiring, and I'm pleased with that sort of answer for sure. Okay, Mr. Jonah Glasgow, as our viewers eagerly anticipate the launch of Myspace, we can't help but wonder about the exciting details and capabilities that lie ahead. Could you kindly share some insights into Myspace and give us a glimpse of what we can expect once it officially launches in the near future? Your vision for this project is of great interest to our Metaverse Masterminds community, and we'd be honored to hear more about it.
Yeah, so Myspace is supposed to be, like, I would say, one of the main products that we have at Dowversal. We are still developing the open world, free to roam, planet to planet, which we know is going to take quite a significant amount of time. But we want to actually release other products that allow people to engage with their community, leaders to actually take that role and have a more digital experience that they can actually provide to their community. And Myspace, I think, is our version of that. Essentially, what we aim to do is to target users who are doing a lot of Zooms with their community, which we know this happens very frequently, but give them a more digital space where they can actually enjoy and engage with their community. So Myspace is essentially just a meeting room that actually can do multiple things the same way that Zoom can. However, this is going to be, attached to your own avatar and the ability for you to customize your own personal space. So the initial concept for Myspace is that we have a meeting room. You can live stream, you can do AMAs, you can do presentations, you can actually do video chat like you see right here, and multiple other things, with your community. And we are providing this free option actually for everyone that can fit up to 15 people, and that will be limited to 30 minutes. And we also have a premium version, which will be sold in the form of an NFT. 3,999 is the number we have as of right now. It might be more, but I think that's a good start. And 3,999 of these NFTs will be the premium version, which allows you to actually support a larger room, more personalized, more customizable, and can support up to 200 people. The unique thing about this now is that with 200 people that are available to join your Myspace, you really don't need to actually use Zoom anymore, because you can do voice chats, you can do text to chat, similar to what we see here. And you can obviously show your face as well via the monitor that we have in the space. So this is really actually just giving the leaders a more robust tool than what they currently have with Zoom for the way that they communicate with their leaders. And of course, it's fun because we've actually are using Ready Player Me to allow people to actually customize their own avatar. And this avatar will be able to be imported into multiple other products that we release in the future. So it's not just limited to Myspace, but something that can be kind of carried with you to some of the other products that we release in the future.
Well, I'm certainly looking forward to using Myspace, and I'll definitely be going for a premium option for Metaverse Masterminds and the global community around us. So many thanks for that insight into that, Jonah. So your leadership and vision continue to inspire us all as we journey together toward the uncharted horizons of the Metaverse. We look forward to witnessing the innovations and possibilities that Dalversal will bring to our digital world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's show our appreciation with a virtual round of applause for Mr. Jonah Glasgow. Thank you once again for being part of this remarkable conversation and for lighting the way forward in the Metaverse. Jonah, please stay around as we have another special guest that I'm sure is eager to speak with you.
Yeah, for sure.
Be back in one moment after this brief intermission, sir.
Metaverse Masterminds, broadcasting live across 5 online platforms: Twitter, Telegram, Discord, Facebook, and YouTube. Join in the lively chat and get your messages posted direct into the studio. Live chat is available from the Bureau of Forefront Facebook page and the Metaverse Masterminds YouTube channel.
Okay, welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed members of our Metaverse Masterminds community, the excitement doesn't stop here. We've yet another exceptional guest joining us today. Please welcome a true visionary and leader, the African region representative, King Ben Maseko. Good afternoon, Ben. Can you hear me? Let's bring Ben up. Can you hear me, Ben? Can you unmute your microphone, Ben? We have no audio from you, sir. No, we've got no audio from you, sir. We've got no way of unmuting you from this end. It's from your end. You should have the ability to turn your microphone on and off and your video on and off.
I think you can hear me now.
I've got you now, sir. Good afternoon, Ben.
Good afternoon to everyone. Good afternoon, especially to Mr. Jonah Glasgow. And thank you very much for extending that kind of a branch to us. It was indeed a dark moment, and then there was Dalversal, and all of a sudden there was light. Boom! It became something, and the name Jonah Glasgow has become a household name and is busy growing bigger than a household name in Africa because of our experience. I'm not a grave digger, but it is important to indicate where we're coming from. Back then, at the beginning of 2020, it was during the lockdown, and we picked up the company, obviously, that we did, and we grew a very, very big community. I was the pronode or the leader for Africa, and stayed around even during the days when things couldn't when it was not fashionable to even mention that we are a community. We stayed around, and we have tried all means out there to make sure that everybody is happy, but we couldn't do anything because things went south. But now that you are here, I'm going to speak from the perspective of the user of the technology that is that your company is involved in, and you seem to have a unique angle of approach to things, and that has captured the minds and the appetite of the African users of the blockchain Web3 technology in conjunction with DAO Vessel. But in the main, I will be frank with you, at this stage of time, everybody is looking forward to say, hey, whatever I had put down, if Jonah says, if you click here, you're going to get something out, I'm willing to do that. And that is what is exciting people. But I have seen a very speedy, fast kind of like change of attitude.
Ben, we've lost your audio again, Ben.
People.
Sorry, Ben, I don't think we can hear you.
Yeah, it looks like a bad connection, Ben. We've got no audio, sir. You try again, Ben?
Hey,
Ben, would you like to
try
turn your
muting and
Can you hear
unmuting
what shows
yourself?
that?
Yeah, would you like to turn your video off, Ben,
Okay.
and maybe stream with audio only in case it's a streaming problem?
Yeah, let's try this one. You're right. Let's try this one. Probably it's a streaming.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. Look, I have over the past few time frame that we have been with DAO Vessel, I've seen a lot of changes. People were in because they were looking forward to get out through DAO Vessel. But now we all of a sudden seeing people buying land and showing interest in terms of the whole DAO Vessel approach of things. And that makes us feel that, you know, people have grasped the understanding of what DAO Vessel is all about. We are, however, looking forward to a more coherent, and I love the way you put it, Jonah, when you're saying you are open to ideas and you are very welcoming, because one of the key things was that it is very difficult to do business with anyone that you cannot sit and have a cup of coffee with, or visit their office and talk to them and hear them out and understand exactly what is it that they do, and our communities seeing us, you know, taking our leaders to say, hey, listen, Jonah is real. We can sit down and have a cup of coffee with him. That was something else. So we're looking forward to that moment as we continue to strengthen the relationship between DAO Vessel, the community, and the human beings behind the entities. I think on my part, that will be the most important thing, where we will see each and every person in Africa getting the best of what they are expecting. There is scarcity of genuine businesses out there, that I can rest assure you, and DAO Vessel seems to be one of those ones that the people have given a green flag on, and I think it's all systems go now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ben, for those kind words. I think, yeah, it's been an exciting journey, and I'm happy to hear that, you know, Africa and the region that you're located in is, you know, starting to be more and more excited about some of the things going on at Dalversal. You know, the TFA, again, I think has really been a powerful tool to allow people just to engage in the platform. And our goal has really always been active users. You know, if we can consider them an active user by participating in the TFA, logging in daily, for us, that's enough. Anything more is honestly a bonus. And that's where we really can see some validation for our hard work, because we know that we've built something that's truly cool.
Thank you very much, Mr. Glasgow. Thank you very much, the Sergeant Keith Barefoot, the General. Really appreciate it. Bye.
Okay, no problem at all there, Ben, and thank you for your presence today. It's most welcome. So yeah, thank you, King Ben. It's been a truly inspirational, eye-opening experience for our members, and on behalf of our community and viewers worldwide, we extend our heartfelt gratitude for your speech today. So ladies and gentlemen, let's give a virtual round of applause to King Ben Maseko for his remarkable contributions today and the hope he shared with us all here. Together we'll keep striving for a better interconnected future in the Dalversal Metaverse and beyond. Okay, so now on to our next part of the show, where we show a small infomercial created by one of the members of the Bureau. So let me just play. Okay, I hope our global audience enjoyed that brief commercial break. That video was created by one of the members of the Bureau of Forefront, our extremely talented private buddykins. Her creative skills have no boundaries, and we've seen her work go from strength to strength over the months that she's been with us. Sergeant Meng, would you like to say a few words about the video that has just been shown? Now, let me see if I can bring Sergeant Meng on. Can you unmute Sergeant Meng?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I've got you, sir. Okay.
Perfect. Okay, so in the video, you'll discover that owning land starts at just 10 DU. But there's more. You can become a proud owner of land on a bronze and or iron planet, where the rewards are an impressive 3 times the principal, featuring a unique release rate. Now, why should you consider purchasing land on stone, bronze, and or iron? Not only can you earn DU from stone, but it's also an excellent way to receive an unlimited daily reward of 0.6% of the principal you've staked. For example, if you stake 100 DU, you'll earn 0.6 DU daily indefinitely, or until you choose to unstake. As for bronze and iron, you'll enjoy an impressive 3 times return on your principal with a unique release rate. Each type of plant has its own minimum amount required for purchase, offering a way to enhance the charging of your TFA. It's an excellent, exciting opportunity for everyone involved.
Okay, thanks for that, Sergeant Meng. I think this just is a great example of the expertise that we can bring out with just some of the members that have joined the Bureau. And may I just add that these members are simply members like all the audience are that have got that special something. They've joined us along the way and they've enhanced their abilities and they've been able to grow their abilities as they've traveled in this ecosystem. And with the Dalversal Metaverse now, they're experiencing far better opportunities as we move on. Okay. So the next part of the show, Sergeant Meng, do you think we have a time to run through the chat box and see if we can pick out a few questions? Let's have a look. Now, Private Buddykins has done a sterling job moderating while we've been busy. So let's have a quick look through and see if we can pick anything up. And may I just add, yes, Winnie, Private Winnie, she's a member of the Bureau. She's made a great comment in the chat there. Now, as you can see, the chats come live from two YouTube channels, the Bureau of Forefront and the Metaverse Masterminds. We've got a live chat feed in from our Facebook page as well. And Winnie mentions that we're looking forward to being able to hold our webinars from within Myspace as well. Okay, so that's a fantastic feature that we're looking forward to integrating, working with the tech support team with Dalversal and managing to do exactly what you're seeing here now today from within the Metaverse and Myspace. So clearly we'll be looking at a premium option for that. I've got a message from King Ben. Appreciate the Bureau for having me here. Mentioning that with my network interruptions. Yes, unfortunately, sometimes we do get internet issues, but seems to be streaming fairly well today. So, Sergeant Meng, have you come across any questions in the chat box that we can pick up on today that we can bring to the stage?
I'm looking past to the beginning here, so it might be a little bit here.
Okay, Winnie, you've been monitoring one of our YouTube channels. Have you seen anything that would be great to bring on stage? A question to ask? There's a lot of thanks for King Ben and Jonah. I must admit, you're getting a lot of grateful comments in here. Thank you, Ben. Quite an eye-opener. Good to connect names and faces. Absolutely. This is something that we've noticed over the spell of time that we've been running Metaverse Masterminds. This is a special edition, of course, because obviously it's an absolute honor to be able to have Jonah and King Ben on air with us today. This has never happened before. Up to now, Metaverse Masterminds has held 4 episodes. We have Coach Leon messaging in now. He was mobile. He's another member of the Bureau. So as you can see, guys, this is members of the Bureau. And like Deborah said earlier on, we are a group. We're a team of members from all over the world that help each other. We've got viewers coming in from all over the world and all platforms of Web2 as well. Now, this is the ideal thing because what we're doing here, we're connecting communities, not only from all different countries, but all different platforms as well. Okay. Can someone talk a little about GameFi? Okay, Jonah, would you like to come back on and talk a little bit about GameFi? Now, this was a question that came up in episode 4. I think it was the same member, actually. They did ask, is there any GameFi coming to Dalversal in the near future?
Yeah, so I mean, the whole idea behind a metaverse kind of ties in very well with GameFi. The gaming finance side of things. And if you really look at what a metaverse is, essentially prior to blockchain technology, it is a game. So GameFi plays a very important role with what we're doing here at Dalversal, and how the metaverse will allow users to actually engage and freely roam around planets. But to take a step back and talk more about GameFi as an industry, this is something that's actually been quite new in terms of popularity here with the Web3 space. We can look back at 2021 and 2022. DeFi has really been a very popular topic that has kind of pushed the industry in that direction. And we've made a lot of milestones with that in terms of allowing people to actually have a more decentralized experience with how they trade assets. But looking forward, GameFi has been something that has now become a very interesting topic of discussion, because now we are looking at a new shift in terms of what people are focusing on. And I think GameFi and AI technology is actually two of the biggest topics that we see right now in terms of emerging technology in blockchain. And I think that GameFi will actually be something that pushes us forward or propels us forward during the next bull run. So stay tuned for that. But going into the whole concept of GameFi and why it's so valuable, I'm sure a lot of people have seen or know someone that has purchased a lot of in-game assets on popular platforms such as Fortnite, Call of Duty, or going far back into Counter-Strike. These in-game assets, have been a very, very popular trend because it gives you a way to kind of flex, or let's say, kind of brag to your friends about the skins you might have, or the unique weapons, or whatever it is that you purchased, or even emotes, in Fortnite, the most popular emotes. So this has been a very, very popular trend that have happened already in the industry now, that is just happening with games. And it only made sense that this would be something that people felt could be improved on with the use of blockchain technology. By allowing people to actually purchase all of the same skins, all of the same weapons, or whatever it is that they're buying now, but actually have that on the blockchain, allows it to be transferred not only to you, but also to be resold in the future. Meaning that this asset is not necessarily tied directly to your account, but now it's something that can be monetized on in the future. This allows you to actually have a more broad marketplace, where maybe the company itself isn't the one that is facilitating the transaction, but now you have individuals who have collected these items over a long period of time, now being able to actually monetize on some of their hard work. And this kind of ties in directly to the play to earn side of things, instead of pay to win. So I think that, shifting away from the pay to win strategy that have been implemented into a lot of games that we have now, but more of a play to earn, allows us to actually see a more free marketplace where everyone can participate in, and also see the value of that in the future. This is where I think gaming and decentralized finance has kind of merged, and allow us to have a more interoperable experience with games that you play.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for that, Jonah. I'm hoping that gives a great answer to that member asking that question. Okay, coming from futures. Okay, here's a good one. While Jonah's on, I'm sure he'll love to answer this question. Carl, who is coming from one of the YouTube chat feeds, where is the money coming from to fund and future sustainable? Where is the money coming from to fund and future sustainable this platform? Now, I do know the answer to this, but over to you, Jonah.
Yeah, so we have an interesting strategy, with Dalversal, and how we actually plan to manage the company and the platform over the next 3 years. Overall, it is a long period of time. It's actually 15 years that we have a roadmap for. But for the first 3 years, the initial strategy is that we keep 80% of the revenue that is generated from the platform on the platform for the community and for the TFA. And this allows us to actually focus on ensuring that users are primarily happy, because in the past, from some of the other projects they participated in, such as Hyper, they maybe didn't feel that way. So our goal is to actually change the general mood of the community through things like the TFA. And we're prepared to, ensure that 80% of revenue generated stays on the platform to facilitate such things and activities as this, where we see an additional 20% actually going to the company. Outside of that, we have been able to raise capital through partners such as Dalverse Capital and also Conscious Network, who have been our primary investors up to this point. And of course, we plan on doing another round of investment here very soon with some more VC funds local in the region. The unique thing about this is that now we're in the position to be able to approach them, because we do actually have a very active user base, which I think does allow everyone to stay extremely interested. When you talk about raising capital for a company, this is one of the biggest discussion points, because they want to make sure that they're investing in a product that actually is being used today by the market. And I think the strength of our community is such a powerful talking point, and we use that as strength and confidence that we're able to actually secure those additional rounds of fundraising through various partners. And yeah, that fundraising that we do, primarily keeps to ensuring the scalability of the platform, meaning that we will have a larger development studio be in place, which will include much more blockchain developers, maybe 2 more blockchain developers, not much more, but then a lot more also gaming developers, to ensure that we can actually produce a product even faster than we expected. The reason for this is just simply because we know that the community is extremely eager to start actually using the land that they've purchased in the metaverse, not only just for staking, but for possibly building, infrastructure, maybe opening a small store, or finding, a way to monetize by building or designing their own infrastructure, their own buildings, and allowing other people to purchase them. So we really want to focus on that area, because then it just becomes more than kind of like just a staking platform, but then we move into the next stage of the Dalversal Metaverse, and by allowing people to actually build their community and allow people to actually travel to other planets and see other communities.
Okay, that's a great answer, Jonah. Okay, as the general of the Bureau and a leader of quite a few communities and members, excuse me, you've explained how the company are doing everything possible to support and help the members in the pain that they've been through over the last year or two, which is fantastic. And something that I'm sure many other leaders do this as well, is to try and encourage members to understand the importance of this being a two-way thing, where members have got to appreciate the fact that it's their, engagement within the platform that is very important too. So going back to the TFA program, I know we've covered certain aspects of it. Is there any timeline? Should be a quick question, this one. Is there any timeline when you may be able to look at introducing small packages, just to give the leaders of these communities an idea to offer their members?
I would like to see that timeline be, anywhere between 3 and 6 months, but it could be a lot sooner. It's just being able to actually extract the data that we have from the existing users and how that platform is working, or how the program is working, and ensuring that, we're in a position to be confident enough to release more packages, which really has no effect on us, but it's just making sure that the system works. Once we know that the system works, we will release them And of course, we don't want to release everything at once because then there'll be nothing for people to look forward to. So this is kind of building up some anticipation. I know there's been a lot of buildup. I know people are saying, okay, enough's enough, but this is just how we have to roll out these products because, of course, developers only have 2 hands. They're not octopuses. They don't have 8 hands where they can do so many things. And I wish I did have a developer with 8 hands because, we would have a lot more efficiency. But the reality is that they only have 2. So everything in time.
Absolutely. And sustainability is key. It's got to be sustainable. Okay, I've got a couple of in-house questions here that I'd like to go over. Okay, one from Private J. I'm curious about how or if Satoshi AI will integrate into Dalversal moving forward.
I see. I don't know exactly if Satoshi AI will be integrated in the near future. I know that we've been in discussions about how we can somehow build technology together. What I can say, though, is that Satoshi AI has already been integrated in other areas, such as the delegates. They have been, able to actually get access to the TFA Plus, which is a slightly accelerated version of the existing TFA. And they have also received some additional bonuses initially to actually incentivize them to purchase planets. So we've given them quite a good head start on terms of getting used to the platform. But I would not say that the technology that they have designed or implemented yet has been introduced into the ecosystem. So I'm excited to see what that might look like. And if they have something they want to propose, we're all ears.
Okay, trying to keep these questions as simple and as quick as possible so that we can get another couple in. Okay, Private Winnie Gibbs, would you like to come on and ask the question yourself, Winnie? Can you unmute, Winnie? Are you there?
Hi, yeah. The question about Zoom.
Sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I was wondering, do you think that all Zoom users are all going to move across to Myspace, and should Zoom be worried? And do they need to buy a planet?
Does Zoom need to buy a planet? I mean, I would love if Zoom bought a planet because I think that would be very cool. I don't know. Like it really, sometimes in this space, you have to put out a product and really see what the feedback is from the community. I know it's going to be extremely positive for such leaders as yourself because you can already find a million reasons as to why you should use it. Or why you think it's going to improve the engagement you have with your community. But I don't know if this is something that can that might replace or be a more urban experience, I would say, opposed to what people are currently using. We know that we have, like in the past, for example, there's been so many other social media platforms that have been popular, and then kind of Facebook took the very big lead on that. And that came after people have already established, a model that's working. So if Dalversal comes up with Myspace and is able to even be beside or possibly a little bit ahead of Zoom, that would be amazing. But I don't know if that necessarily will happen right away. It would take a lot of time for us to develop and improve the Myspace to ensure that we can cover all faucets and all areas. I know that this will be an amazing immersive experience, and I would like to see actually not only leaders but other educators, because I like to think of you guys as educators, because that's really what you guys are doing. As other educators, maybe from a more traditional schooling area or schooling background, or teachers use this tool as well to be able to actually sit there and give classes to their community or to their students, because they of course have access to the whiteboard or the monitor where they can do lessons. So if, for example, let's say a college or a high school kind of has a class which is more relaxed, and on Fridays maybe they do digital lessons. I would like to see that Dalversal has partners that are allowed to actually use our services for this educational side of things.
Okay, hopefully that's answered your question, Winnie.
Thank you.
Okay, Jonah, are you free just to take one last question, and then we'll leave you to give us some last words before we close the show? Is that okay? One last question from King Ben Maseko.
Yeah, that's
okay. King Ben, would you like to try again? Let's hope that you've got some audio this time. Would you like to direct that question towards Jonah yourself, sir? Let's see if we've got any audio. Oh, that's no. We're still having problems. So, no problem, King Ben. It's very unfortunate. Not to worry, sir. I will ask that question for you. So, just going back into the in-house chat box here, Jonah. King Ben would like to know, is there any chances of one visiting the Dalversal office at a business capacity on appointment?
Yeah, we're always, I mean, our doors are always open. So if anyone is in the Dubai region or would like to come down to Dubai and visit Dalversal office, please just speak with us and we'll make sure to find the time to sit down and talk to you. And you know, we can have an open discussion about maybe what's on your mind, or you know, maybe talk about the future of Dalversal, because we're always excited to talk about that. So of course, yeah, like the doors are always open, especially for leaders. You know, if they contact us and say, hey, you know what, I want to come to Dubai, or I want to come and get a more one-on-one experience. Maybe it's just a massive training session. We'll do whatever it takes to ensure that our community and especially our leaders are prepared to, you know, get all the information they need and prepared to actually educate their communities.
That's great, Jonah. Thank you very much. Certainly my intention to try and get out as soon as I can, hopefully early next year. So, okay, would you like to take this opportunity to give our audience a few last words before we come to an end, Jonah?
Yeah, I would like to say, guys, thank you so much for having me here. I hope you guys are enjoying the TFA, because you know what, this has been a long time coming, and I'm happy to see a lot of positive feedback from the community regarding this. And stay tuned for RC, because RC will be actually open for withdrawals here actually in sometime this month. I would like to say mid-month, but possibly near the end. So we have some exciting things coming up. You know, we have RC withdrawals opening up very soon. We also have Myspace, which is going to be another amazing product by Dalversal. And this will be available for you to purchase your NFT and trade it, and, you know, on OpenSea. You might have some different rarities between which one you get. So stay tuned for more information regarding that. And the website should be live very soon. So guys, thank you so much for having me. Kev, it's been a pleasure to be here. King Ben, Winnie, Jaywalking, Sergeant Meng, and of course, Deborah and Buddy Kins. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time, Jonah and King Ben. It's been an absolute pleasure. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, pioneers from nations afar, the time has come to bring this show to an end. It's been an absolute honor to be able to bring our special guests, Mr. Jonah Glasgow and King Ben Maseko, onto our show today to share with you some of their wisdom and expertise, and hope this has been the beginning of many such encounters over the month and the years ahead. The metaverse is the buzzword of the decade, and with Dalversal in the driving seat, we can all look forward to an exciting journey ahead. Until next time, stay safe and bye-bye for now.
Thank you.